In this video, we're going to go over how to graph quadratic functions in intercept or factored form. The intercepts, or intercept form, or factor form of a quadratic function is written as a x minus p x minus q. So it'll have the parentheses for your factors. A factored form, the x-intercepts of the function are identified as x equals p, x equals q. So based off of these factors, you can find the intercepts on your graph. The y-intercept of a function is the point at which the function intersects the y-axis. To determine the y-intercept, substitute 0 for x and simplify. The axis of symmetry can be identified from the factored form since it occurs at the middle, or the x value, between the x-intercepts. So it'll be in the middle of the x-intercepts. Therefore, the axis of symmetry is p plus q divided by 2. So you add the two numbers up and then divide by 2 to find the middle of them. To determine the vertex of the function, calculate the y that corresponds to the x by plugging it in. Now just a reminder, if a is bigger than 0, so if it is positive, in the front, if this value is a positive, the graph will open up this way. If it is negative, your graph, so if it's a negative in front, your graph will open down. All right, let's try and graph a few in intercept form. So this one won't end up fitting on your graph. I'm going to rewrite it as -2 x minus 3 x minus 5. This is just an edit so that it fits on the graph. So cross that top one out, and this is the one we're going to do on this. So I'm going to identify the x-intercepts. If x is -3, that means that my intercept, when I take it out of the parentheses, will be a +3, and this will be a +5. I'm going to plot those points, so I put a dot on +3, 4, and +5. Now to find the vertex, or the axis of symmetry, it has to be in the middle of these 2 points. So when I check the middle, that middle number is a +4 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know the middle number is 4. I'm going to plug it in to find the y. So I would type in my calculator -2, 4 minus 3, 4 minus 5, -2 parenthesis 4 minus 3 parenthesis 4 minus 5 is a 2. This is your vertex. So I'm going to plot that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go +2 and put my vertex point. Now the reason my graph is opening down is because of this -2 in front. It is making my 1, 3, and 5 go down 2, down 6, down 10. Don't need that anymore. Down 2 over 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1. And then I mirror it on the left side to graph my parabola. Let's do it again. Example 2. I take out my x-intercepts, so I know that x is equal to a +3 and x is equal to a positive 1, I put my dots on positive 1 and positive 3 for my x-intercepts. The number in the middle of 1 and 3 is the number 2. I plug that into my equation, so I'd have 2 minus 3 times 2 minus 1. Two minus 3, 2 minus 1, and we get negative 1. I plot that point over 2 down 1 and put a dot. And my pattern, 1, 3, 5. There's not a number in front for A, so these just get to stay the same. Up 1 over 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mirror so that it is symmetric. Example 3. I take out my x-intercepts. This one would equal negative 3, and this one would equal negative 3. So I put a dot at negative 3. Notice there's only one dot. That means I don't have to find the middle. That is the middle. It would be negative 3, comma. If I plug that in, when I plug that in, that becomes a 0, 0. That is my vertex. And then I find my pattern. 1, 3, 5. I look at the front. There is nothing in front that will change my 1, 3, 5. Up 1, 3, 5. There's your graph. Example 4. This x-intercept would equal 5. This x would equal 9. I plot those points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I try and find the middle of those two. So here's the middle. What number is that in the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma. Now I need to plug that 7 in. So I type negative 7 minus 5, 7 minus 9, negative parenthesis 7 minus 5, 7 minus 9 is 4. I plot my vertex, 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my pattern, because of that negative in front, my 1, 3, and 5 are going to be negative 1, negative 3, and negative 5. Down 1 over 1. Down 3. Notice it hits that same point. Down 1, down 3, down 5. And it opens down because of the negative in front. Example 5. I have my x-intercepts. This x would be a 0. This x equals negative 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The middle of those two would be right here. That number in the middle is negative 2, which means I'm going to plug in negative 2 plus 4 to find out what the y is. Oh, sorry, can't see that. So for my vertex, x is negative 2. I plug it into the equation and enter it into my calculator like this, and you get negative 4. Then I use my pattern, 1, 3, 5. There's no number in front here that will be influencing how fast or what direction it opens. It'll open up, up 1, up 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they should overlap your intercepts. If they don't, you did something wrong, so you would check. On example 6 is going to be our last one. I know that x equals 0, that will be one of my intercepts, and this x would equal 46. Where are the x-intercepts? Done. How far was the football kicked? I'm going to make a graph of this. I'm going to do what we did in the last problems and apply. So I'm going to use my vertex. The middle of 0 and 46, that would be half, so it'd be a 23. If I plug it in, I'd get negative 0.026, parenthesis 23 minus 0, 23 minus 46 is 13.754. If I were to graph this, my graph would, I'm just going to make it rough. Here's 0, here's 46, 23 is in the middle, and my graph is at 23 up 13.754. So it's kicked, hits the top, and then it goes back down. How far was the football kicked? So it went from 0 to 46, so it was kicked 46 yards. What was the maximum height of the football? Well, it went a total height, that tallest point, is it was 13.754. Oh, not feet. It's in yards as well. Yards for its maximum height. And then that would be completing the word problem. On your assignment, you need to make a few changes. So we're going to go through it and fix it. On your assignment, the questions are not factored and they needed to be factored, so we're going to factor it. On this one, the factors should be x times x plus 2. So cross that off, and you are using these as your intercepts. On this one, your factors should be negative, parenthesis, x minus 5, x minus 1, and cross that off. This one should be negative 2, x minus 2, x minus 4, cross off the standard form, negative x, x plus 4, cross off the standard form version. Example 5 is negative 2, x plus 3, x plus 1, cross off standard form. This one is x minus 3, x minus 1, cross off the standard form. Problem 7 is negative 2, x minus 5, x minus 3. Number 8 is x plus 5 times x plus 3. X times x plus 4. 2 times x plus 4 x plus 2, negative x plus 2, x plus 6. Factor this would be x minus 5, x minus 1. 13 factored should be negative x times x minus 2. 14 factored is negative 2, x plus 5, x plus 3. Those are the only edits you need to make on your assignment 4.3. And that is how you will be graphing quadratics in intercept form.